most beautiful country on earth, 3 most livable cities in Canada, over 14,000 graduates, and 20 unique programs in English. Welcome to Canada. Welcome to Sprott Language College. This is Ilyas. As the Pathway Program Manager and the Marketing Manager for Europe, I will share with you today how you can live, study, and work in Canada. Canada stands out with its safe, multicultural society, quality of education, and high living standards. These things make Canada one of the most reputable countries in the world. It is also more affordable to study in Canada than other countries like the US and UK. Here, you can meet and study with students from over 75 different countries and also study and work through our career college. Or you can enroll in our Pathway program to study at Canada's top colleges and universities while working 20 hours per week to obtain work experience in an English-speaking country. If you want to be a part of this great experience at Sprott Language College, apply today. Now it's time for Canada.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to SSLC's Pathway webinar series. My name is Ilyas and I'm the Pathway Program Manager here at SSLC. Finally joining you live from our Vancouver campus. I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. Thanks for attending our webinars. And tonight we have another great partner from Ontario. We have Laurier University joining us tonight live from Sudbury, and we have Tammy and Jin joining us tonight. Hello.
Hi everyone.
Hello everyone.
How are you doing, Tammy and Jim?
Very good.
Yeah. The sun is setting in sunny Sudbury, so yeah, it's been a great day. Nice to be here, everyone.
Thank you for sparing your time for us tonight. It's great to have you on our webinar this evening. And we're so excited. This is our second day back in our campuses in Vancouver and Victoria. So we're finally back. We reunited with our students and teachers and our staff. And I'm finally joining this webinar from our Vancouver campus. So I'm really excited. How are things over there?
Very good. We know that Ontario have more cases, but Sudbury, the city where we are, we have 0 cases being COVID-19 free. Hopefully that will last. And total we had was only 67 cases. That's the advantage to staying a smaller community.
Great.
Good.
Yeah, we're already in phase 3, and the government has allowed us to reopen here in BC. So we are here in our campuses. And for Toronto, hopefully it'll be sometime in August or early September. We still don't know yet, but we're just waiting for the Ontario government to give us the updates on that. So tonight we're going to talk about Laurier University. We're going to learn about Laurier University and its programs and how you can easily transition from SSLC's Pathway program, which is EPE, English for Post-Secondary Education, to Laurier University's programs. Let's start with maybe Tammy.
Sure.
Why don't you quickly introduce yourself, and then I'll go to Jin. And just tell us about a bit about yourselves, what you do at Laurier University, how long you've been with the university, etc.
Sure.
And then we'll play Laurier University's introduction video, and then we can start with your presentation. And how it'll work is that you'll basically present. I may interrupt you from time to time if questions arise, and we can invite, I'm not sure if we can still invite our audience on stage when we have 4 screens open, but they can always type their questions on the chat box, so we can take their questions. We are also live on Facebook, of course, and they can view us on our website as well. So when we get questions, I'll be asking them to you.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
All right.
Get to know you first.
All right, ni hao. So my name is Tammy McLaughlin, and I am actually a graduate of Laurentian University. And as I say to students from last century, so back in the 20th century, originally born and raised in the city of Sudbury, and then post-graduation, I actually went to Europe for what was supposed to be a 3-month trip, turned into a few years, and 20 years later, still traveling and visiting various parts of the world. I've touched 6 continents, so I've got 1 more left to hit. My role, Antarctica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
The cold one. I've been at Laurentian University employed for the last 14 years. I started teaching English as a second language. Currently doing that this summer, hence the whiteboard in my dining room. And I manage the Language Institute. So we provide English language training for primarily international students. And we would also oversee our pathway partnerships. And I also worked closely with Jin on the recruiting side. So we've gone to China a number of times together, and I have had the opportunity to go many times to recruit international students. And
in the good old days.
In the good old days of
Yeah.
February 2020. So that's, and I'm back home in Sudbury and happy to be, for the last 15 years home and working. And Laurentian is it's a really great place to study as well and live. So
Exactly.
that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you. And let's go to Jin.
Hi, my name is Jin. I'm the international recruitment manager for Asia region. I'm also a proud Laurentian alumni. See my alumni pin? We each got one.
Nice.
And hopefully you will also get one in the future. I came to Canada in 2001 as an international student. I was a student at EAP. So I've been studying at Laurentian, and after I graduated, I worked at Laurentian. Right now, it's over 13 years already. Student service, recruitment, partnership, bring me now. So yeah, welcome to today's presentation. During today's presentation, we're going to cover to let you know why Laurentian University has the highest employment rate in all Ontario 21 universities. And also we have second highest student employment income. And also we're gonna talk about the bilingualism and also the newest Northern Pilot immigration program, how you can benefit from that, and how you can get to Laurentian when you finish Sprott program, the pathways. Yep.
Great. Thanks so much. It was nice to get to know you, both of you. And again, I'd like to thank both of you for being here tonight. So let's, Jim, so we need to take one of you down. So in this case, Tammy.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later, Tammy.
I'll be back soon.
Don't go away.
Yeah.
Well, in the end, we'll get back together, 3 of us.
Okay.
Just presentation. Jim, let's start with the video first. Let's get to know Laurentian. I guess it's getting ready right now, and then we'll start with the presentation. Great, here we are. It's all there at Laurier. All right. Thank you for the video, Jem. Jen, please go ahead. Let's start with your presentation. Let's get to know more about Laurentian University. And then, as I said in the beginning, I may ask you questions during your presentation.
Sure.
And if you get questions from our audience, I'll ask those questions to you as well.
Yes. Interact me anytime. We don't have to be super formal. I know our audience are very knowledgeable about Canada already. So yeah, ask questions. I'm going to give you a brief introduction about our university and the specialty why you come to Laurentian. But first of all, I really want to take this opportunity to thank Sprott College and Elias and Jim to have us here. Really, thanks for the opportunity.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure to have you in Sprott Language College's Pathway webinar series. So thanks for joining again. Okay,
thank you. So I'm going to start. So everything you see from the video is our campus, right on our campus. It's not some provincial park. Another thing is Laurentian University, you see two names. Yes, we are the only two officially bilingual university in Ontario, which means we have lots of courses and services offered not only in French, in English, and also in French. But it doesn't mean you have to speak French. Student can either speak English or French or bilingual. We have the same course offered in 2 different languages, and we know that Canada has the 2 official languages are English and French. So knowing some the other language, it's gonna help make you very competitive when it comes to looking for job opportunities. And the other thing is, as a bilingual university, on top of your degree, we can give you a bilingual certificate if you can take 15 course credits of courses. That's 5 courses during your entire 4-year undergraduate studies in another language, English or French, and you can get this official bilingual certificate. Lots of government jobs and public service jobs require that and make you very competitive. The location, we are in Ontario. We're northwest of the provincial capital, Toronto. It takes about 3.5-hour drive, and by flights, you can fly from Pearson International Airport or the downtown Billy Bishop, Toronto downtown airport. Only takes about 40 to 45 minutes airtime. It's a pretty convenience. And this is our campus and our community. It's a very nice environment. Lots to do in summer and in winter time. The people in Sudbury, the residents in Sudbury, they speak English and French. It has a large French population living in Sudbury and working in Sudbury. It's a small community style, but which means very friendly, very safe, and the size is not really small. The total population is a little over 160,000 people living in the city. The city's area is 6 times larger than the city of Toronto. The main industry is mining, so we have mines, like world level natural resources. A number of largest international mining company have their operational headquarters in Sudbury. We'll get to that later. At the same time, we also have one of the nicest environment, water quality, air quality. So it is a very happy city to live. As you can see in the region, we have 9 provincial parks, national parks also not far away. Lots of people actually, especially during this pandemic days, living in a smaller community has lots of advantage. We have no problem to keep social distance. Compared with people live in the condo buildings, it's an advantage. Kids can still play around, riding their bikes, say hi to neighbors. It's not a super stressful environment. Another thing is the main industry. Unlike super big cities, they have lots of service, restaurants, but in Sudbury we have lots of mining. That's a solid industry. They don't really lay off anybody during this pandemic. That's one of the largest industry here. And we also have Canada's revenue agency. There are only 4 across the country, I think, 4 or 5. And one of them is in Sudbury. That's the department that process your income tax.
Wow.
So, love it or hate it. It's in Sudbury. Only that hired more than 1,000 or 2,000 people, including lots of our international students who work there. It's a government ministry. Okay. Yeah, so lots of opportunities. The mining industry itself has over like thousands of jobs because. As you can imagine, working in the mine, don't think that you work underground, you got all, dirty clothes and face. That's probably 50 years ago. Nowadays, you need professional engineers, mechanical, chemical, and mining. They need a geologist. They also need an accountant. They also need HR department professionals. So all kind of support to the mining industry as well. Even lately, we have fast growing movie industries. It's something very popular. Last year, the federal government launched the Rnip, which is the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. Sudbury is one of the 5 cities in the province of Ontario, which means in Ontario, in Sudbury, you'll be qualified for the federal programs, and you will be qualified the provincial programs because we are in Ontario. You probably heard about the EE, Provincial Nominee Program, Express Entry, but in Sudbury, you also, it doesn't mean you have to give up the other 2. You also, on top of that, you also have this opportunity, so one more opportunity to get your immigration status if you're qualified. As you can see, among all 5 cities, Sudbury's population, the GDP, and also the distance to Toronto, in my opinion, I really think this is one of the best place to be. Laurentian University is in Sudbury. The distance you drive from Toronto to Sudbury is very similar to other cities. We know Canada is very big. Drive a few hours. It's very common, very normal. So yeah, 3 hours and a half, you are arrive Sudbury, or you're in Toronto. So on weekends, holidays, you can still go there and do some shopping, meet some friends. Other than that, you focus on study. It's a very beautiful environment. Not only that, the average salary actually higher than Toronto. But consider the house, the residential, the cost for rental and to buy a house. I can tell you the average single detached house is 500,000, and you can own a 2-car garage and very good, nice neighborhood. So you have more money in your pocket. You can travel. You can travel to Caribbean. You can travel back to Vancouver. I worked in Vancouver for over a year. I really like the city, but I miss Sudbury. I miss Laurentian University a lot. We can talk about that more. Yeah. So the Northern Pilot Program, you can go to the website, check out the latest requirements, but something to keep in mind is different city on the list, they have different needs, they have different requirement. So if you're interested, you can find out how you can be qualified. There's a self-score system based on your education, your age, and your program of study. They're already taking applications right now. Many of my friends already submitted their applications. So for now, for Sudbury, is mining, supply, and service sector, tourism, and other sectors that may help the city. It's a very good program to consider.
I remember this I'm an RCIC myself, regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and when I was studying to become an RCIC, this program was introduced by IRCC, but that time it wasn't established yet. I'm not sure if they are taking applications now. I haven't followed up on that lately, but it was a great program, great immigration program as you suggested.
Yes.
So I guess you're going to touch base about RNIP for international students.
Yes, they are taking applications. I can confirm that.
Okay.
People already submitted. And because of the small community, we even know the immigration officer who process the applications. Yeah, we know. That's it. Doesn't mean we can. Yeah, lots of advantage to studying in small communities, and one of the reasons why we become our employment rate is very high. In small communities, you know your professor, you know your classmates, and your professor maybe can pay you to go to some job fairs, or your professor has, especially in the engineering science department, they have lots of industrial connections. Sometimes they come to you, hey, you know what, someone's hiring, you should apply. You have that trust and personal level relationship with your professor, because we're a small class size. We maintain average class size under 30, 25 students per classroom. A lot of time, after a week, and professor will know your name. It's hard to skip class and not showing you have a trouble. Actually, that's very good. So there's some requirement. I'm not qualified to talk about this. So find out more from the website, or you can contact Elias to find out more. Okay, the industry, just a few examples. People may not heard about Sudbury before, but people in the mining industry and natural resources, you definitely heard about us. And people in all Ontario, Eastern Canada, they know the Canada Revenue Agency. We have the Brazilian-based company Valet. We have companies from Switzerland, from Norway, and different companies. They all have their operational office here. It's a very good community. We also have two colleges, Cambrian College and College Boreal. They're also part of the Ontario public college system. Okay. Yes, this is our campus. We have the latest the School of Architecture. That's in downtown, Sudbury downtown campus, which is only 15 minutes drive from our main campus. We have library, that's the reading room, and you can see on the top our newly renovated classroom buildings. So this is the whole campus. We have 5 lakes. You can see a private beach that's part of campus, and that's a 9-hole golf club. And the left is the academic buildings, and the middle we have 9 on-campus residence buildings. And in normal time, we can accommodate over 2,000 students to live on campus, maximum 2 students per room. This September, we're going to have only 1 student staying in 1 room, and 2 students share 1 set of washroom facilities. So keep everybody safe. Part of our programs will be offered in class, offline. Most of our programs will be offered in alternative delivery method, which is online. To your far right, you can see indoor and outdoor sports facilities. We also have very good health-related programs and sports-related programs. So and some of you may worry about, BC is very nice, only rains in winter time. When people talk about Eastern Canada, Ontario, oh, you guys are very cold. Well, I can tell you it gets cold, but if you see the buildings, they are either connected in the ground floor or underground, which means in coldest winter time, inside you don't need to wear many layers, just like this. Well, you won't need more. The heating system is excellent. Cold and snow is only optional if you want to enjoy snow. You want to ride or snowmobile on the lake, you want to go cross-country ski, or just make a snowman, take some photos, you can go outside. But inside a classroom and residence, it's 21 degrees Celsius plus. Sometimes it's too hot, you need to open the window. You don't even need to step out to visit friends who live in different buildings. So don't worry about the cold, and I encourage you to enjoy the winter experience. We have lots of trails. In summertime, they are biking, hiking, running trails. In wintertime, like I said, there are ski trails for snowshoeing. In the city, we also have lots of snowmobile trails. It's very cool, and it's very Canadian experience here, and you can enjoy ice fishing. Those lakes become a big playground in wintertime. You don't need to worry about falling into the lake because you will see pickup trucks driving on the lake. You can see lots of ice fishing huts. They're like a small village. From February to end of March, you see lots of ice fishing. It's really interesting. Like my own experience, I learned a lot about Canadian culture. I really appreciate. I used to hate it. My parents put me in Sudbury in Laurentian, but I really feel lucky that I chose Laurentian and I stayed. From here, you understand how Canada was built and what's the real spirit of Canadian, what Canadian means. I understand that the culture of Canadian really appreciate different culture, very acceptable, very friendly, always say sorry, even not their fault. And here in small community, you feel that you have people stop and asking if you need help, you need a ride. It's very good community. Yes. And okay, we put in lots of budget into student experience. This photo, you can see our latest School of Engineering building with our labs. It's supported by both federal government and provincial government. We have Indigenous Culture Learning and Share Center. We value different culture, including Canadian Indigenous cultures. And the university itself, it's different than universities right in downtown center. We have some university like that. Laurentian, we have our own campus, which means most people you see on campus are professors and faculty and staff and your classmates. Very safe, very beautiful environment. It takes 5 minutes from your stressful classroom to nature trails. It takes 10 minutes walk to Laurentian Beach. You can enjoy the nature. There is some achievement where not only has the highest employment rate in all Ontario, 21 Ontario universities, we've been also hold that top place for over 5 years already. Another thing is we have the second highest post-graduation earning among all Ontario universities. Ontario has the most universities, higher education institutions in Canada. We have 21 universities, including some big names that and people are surprised. Wow, why Laurentian you have a highest employment rate? Yes, because local employers, they don't really look at those world ranking. Top universities, world ranking, that means they have very strong research in PhD levels. We do have PhD level research areas. We're also leading in those areas in Canada, but we do not have that big number of PhDs in compared with some big research-based universities. But for how you benefit from undergraduate, from your bachelor's, from your master's, and it's really build your solid foundation where it won't limit your role in the future. Some of our students, they finish the mining engineering here. They like to enjoy to see BC. I recommend. He asked me if he need to go to U of T or UBC. I said, go to UBC. Now you're ready. So this, my good friend, student, he just graduated from the Master of Mining Engineering, UBC. Yeah, so it won't stop you. Don't think you go to a small university, your future is limited. No. You have better opportunity because you have less competitions. And in Canada, the first job is always hard to find. After you have a few years of experience, your future is really unlimited. Okay, again, we have lots of support, student support and co-op programs. Our engineering programs, our business, computer science, all have co-op. I'll say you have this opportunity, take it. It's usually you get a salary and you can work for the full semester or even full academic year after your second year study or third year study or even fourth year study. You go work for that with the industry, with a company or professional engineer if you're taking engineer. Work for a whole year. So when you graduate, you not only have your degree, you also have 1 year of work experience. Our students usually get 2 or 3 job offers. That's very common. That they're worried about, hey, which job should I take? This one pays higher, that one, close to home. So it's a good problem to have. Okay, yeah. The Sudbury is not always like this. And 50 years ago, same as many other mining cities around the world, it was polluted. It was air quality wasn't good. We have the world's largest nickel mine and copper. We have gold, platinum. Yeah, many very rich natural resources. But same as other places, we had our history problem. But Canada realized that problem earlier. So we involved lots of research. Laurentian University was the whole time is involving volunteers, academics, and research to change the environment with decades of work. Right now, our environment, you can go to the World Air Quality Index website. You always see our quality always better than other big cities in Canada. Even Canada already has the best environment in the world. So don't worry about that. It's very nice. We have 330 lakes in the city area. That's the most city lakes in the city in the world. Our kids are swimming in the lake. I just took my son actually to Laurentian Beach today. And right now, as we're speaking, it's a wild blueberry season. You find all kinds of endless blueberries around the campus. It's all free. If you want to pick them up, and you can just go pick it. It tastes much better than the ones you buy in the store. And we have 7 faculties, including arts, education, management, health, science, engineering, and architectures. And we also have medical school. And medical school is a graduate level school. You need an undergraduate degree to apply anyways. And so it's not possible for international students. It's not direct, but with all kind of immigration program, and you need to prepare for the exam, medical school entry exam anyways. You need your undergraduate degree first. So there's enough time. If you plan well, you won't waste lots of time if you're interested in medical school. It's Northern Ontario School of Medicine. It's right in our campus. Other very cool programs. So don't always think about business, computer science, engineering. There are many other good programs to study. In my personal experience, if I know there's so many other programs, I probably won't choose business when I was in university. It's so good. So spend some time. It's worth it. You may choose a program that's not that hard to study, but less people know. And when you graduate, less people to compete with you. Where if you study accounting or marketing, you probably have tens and thousands of people competing with you at the same time. Another good example is if you study business in a smaller university, it still have some competitive advantage. We know that in big city, in Vancouver, in Toronto, my friends, my relatives, they graduate from SFU, Victoria, UBC, U of T with business degree. And it's hard to get the top. You just graduate. It's really hard to find. Even they compete a teller's job at the bank. We know that teller's job is originally designed for people who only graduate from high school. You don't really need a university degree, but in real world, I know lots of people with business in master in business, they're competing with for those jobs. But at the Laurentian, when you graduate, we have lots of banks. If they need someone who speaks a different language with international experience, you only have one university's graduates to compete with you. So many of my people I know here, they graduate, they find a job, and their job is a financial advisor, level 1. That to start with, you have your own cubicle. It's like your own small office. You help people open a bank account, help them manage their wealth. So that's the different. Then, the big banks, they are the same, right? So when you need to transfer, it's not that hard after a few years. Did you have a question, Elias?
No, I was just going to say I studied at SFU.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to ask maybe I should have studied at Laurentian.
Sorry, I love SFU.
I studied economics at SFU, so.
Yeah, the one I mentioned is my sister-in-law, my cousin's wife. She has a master from SFU, but she really struggled to find a job. She ended up finding a job at RBC. She didn't take it because that's in the area she didn't feel very safe. And she worked at the CIBC Richmond for a few years.
Maybe what SFU graduates can do, maybe attend your MBA. I assume you had an MBA, right?
Yes. Well, your cafeteria definitely one of the most beautiful cafeteria I saw in many universities. You have the mountain view and you have your cheeseburger. That's really good.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So you're talking about 4-year degree programs?
Yes, I'll be quick on this one. So at university, we have a 4-year degree combination programs. We also have a 3-year degree. So for 4-year, you need 120 credits to graduate, which means for full-time student, you take 30 credits each year. After 4 years, you earn your degree. And we also have a 3-year degree. It's a general bachelor's degree. It's also a university degree. Some people you may not know about it. It is also a university degree, a bachelor's degree. It only takes 3 years, 90 credits. It's equivalent. It's the same to a other bachelor degree, 4-year degree. The difference is you cannot apply master's in this major right away with a 3-year degree. But if your goal is to be qualified for a 3-year post-graduation work permit, or to get a bachelor degree and find a job, maybe you have an uncle want to hire you, or someone you met that really like you want to hire you. That's good. You don't really need to finish a 4-year degree. You can also get a degree after 3 years. Not every program have the 3-year option. For example, economics, yes. Engineering, no. Arts program. Computer science has a 3-year degree and 4-year degree. Okay, just remember, if you need a master in computer science, you need to do the 4 years. But don't be afraid.
How can you get a degree in a 3-year in 3 years and 4 years, and one would qualify for masters and one wouldn't? Do you take less credits, or
you take less credits? So 3-year you graduate.
But you still get a degree like a bachelor's degree or a Bachelor of Science degree.
You get a Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science.
Okay.
In economics, in computer science, for example. It won't say 3-year. It will say a general degree.
I see. Okay.
No bachelor, which versus honors. If you want an honors bachelor degree, that means you need 4 years. Not only 4 years, you also need a 70% average or higher to get honors degree. But if you want to, let's say economics 3-year general degree, you only need to take 90 credits.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But don't afraid of that, because it doesn't mean your master dream is done. Even you have a 3-year degree and you work for a few years, let's say you got your status change, or you change your mind, you want to continue your study, and after you have a few years of experience, you can apply. The university, this is not only a Laurentian, apply to many Canadian universities, if not all. They will tell you, okay, I see that you have some work experience, you have a 3-year degree. You know what? You need to do some qualification courses. They will give you, okay, you're not quite qualified, but take these courses, and if you pass, we'll take you for masters. At that time, you may not need to take 30 credits. You will only need to take a few core courses that you're probably missing for the master degree at undergraduate level. Let's say 4th year, a few 4th year courses.
All right. Do you have more slides for yourself?
Which I can't see the page number. I'll be quick. So yeah,
Okay.
Small class size, 1 professor to 18 students. That's the average ratio. So as you can see, lots of hands-on experience, lots of opportunity to communicate with your professor.
What's the student population at Laurentian?
Close to 10,000.
10,000. And what's the percentage of or the number of international students?
500, around 500 international.
Around 500.
Yeah. So here you find it's not like
it's about 5%.
Yeah,
Okay.
not so many international students. You have lots of opportunity to communicate, to pair up group with
Great.
local students. Okay.
Great.
Employment rate, blah blah blah. Okay, this is the francophone culture. The Canadian francophone symbol and the flag is designed by Laurentian University professor a few years, long time ago. And this is your Laurentian degree look like. But in this one, it's showing that the bilingual certificate is called a certificate of bilingualism. If you take 15 credits, so 5 courses in a different language. Let's say if you're in English program, if you know some French, I know lots of students in China, French is big. In Turkey, lots of private schools, they also teach French. In many countries, French is popular. So if you fall into that category, take advantage of that. I can tell you your job opportunity is super high.
Yes, we are mainly, although we are mainly focusing on ESL studies with us, mainly English, and then go to Laurentian or any other pathway partners. But we may have students from French schools. Well, usually their English is really good too. Those students who are studying at French curriculum high schools, especially in Turkey. So, but it's a good opportunity if they're watching us. It's a good opportunity for them to apply to Laurentian as well.
Definitely.
Do you have? Okay, you're gonna talk about tuition fees. Here, and I was just about to ask this question, but just before that, we have a question from Laura. Laura just asked a question here. I'm not sure if she can join us. Jem, does she want to join us live? Maybe she can ask her question. If not, I can just read it out.
I just invite her. Laura, please accept my invitation.
Laura, you can please accept, and if you want to be live on stage with us. If not, I'll just read out the question. Maybe she's feeling a bit shy today. Doesn't want to appear in front of the camera with us.
Hi.
Oh, there she is. Hi, Laura.
Hi, this is Laura from Western Canada Education Services.
How are you?
Good, thank you. I am wondering if you offer
Maybe
any
she's
kind of...
feeling a bit shy today.
No.
You have to appear in front of your Facebook or something. I can hear my voice.
Laura from Western Canada Education.
There you are.
I am wondering if you offer any kind of...
Laura, you need to cross your.
I think you're watching us from 2 different channels, so you have to close one of them.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Now we can still hear her.
Laura, you need to cross your.
I think you're watching us from.
Okay.
Okay, try talking now. Yes.
Now it's okay. Now it's
okay. Maybe let's read out the question.
Laura, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let me read out the question, and I guess what happened was she joined us from Crowdcast, and maybe she's watching us online on Facebook or maybe from our website. I'm not sure, but the question was, do you offer any 2-year diploma programs?
No, we do not.
You do not.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have either undergraduate, like 3 or 4 years undergraduate programs, or you have master's programs
And PhDs.
and PhDs. And I assume master's programs are 2 years?
Yes. 2
2
year
years.
for masters, 4 year general for PhDs.
Okay. I hope that answers Laura's question. You were talking about tuition fees. Let's go to that.
Yes. The tuition fee is a little bit lower than average. About 27,000 Canadian per year to 32,000, 34 for engineering and architecture. Lots of labs and almost double the class time and some materials, so that's higher. In total, to study in Sudbury Laurentian University a year, you need 30,000 to 50,000 for everything. Yes, it's about average for Ontario universities. I know there are some cheaper in Canada, but this is Ontario. But the good news is we offer the best international scholarship. This international scholarship, which means only for international student, up to 60,000, which means you can get 10,000 Canadian dollar per year or 15,000 Canadian dollar per year towards your tuition. So you can minus that if you're an excellent student. This is to, and not only that, we are the only one give this scholarship to international students when you enter. I know there are some that after you have to finish 1 year of study at the university to be able to consider it. And this one is you can get an entry scholarship based on your previous studies from university, from college transfer, or from your high school. Yes, including transfer student. For transfer student, after you transfer, you probably won't get the full 60,000, but you will get 10,000 or 15,000 every year you study at undergraduate level. For and this one you do not need to apply. You're guaranteed. What you need to do is get good mark, study hard, and when we see your mark, of course we need to transfer to Canadian standard. If that's not, that's in very general resources you can find out, and we'll give you that scholarship. No need to apply.
Great. I was just going to ask about scholarship opportunities for international students, and you just explained about it. So when students apply, are they going to be considered for these scholarships automatically, or do they have to apply for these specific scholarships as well?
No need to apply. They would be considered our
I believe
admission
it's merit-based.
Yes, our admission officer is very good at looking at transcripts. It's 80% or higher. You'll be receive different. So we have a portal. After you apply, you can use the application portal. If you're qualified, you will see a letter for scholarship confirmation. There's a small chance that we may forget. So send us an email if you don't see a letter. We will make sure that you're added to the scholarship. Everybody gets it if you have the mark. So you can apply directly through our website, or you can apply through the Ontario University Application Center. Or if you don't know, you can contact Sprott College, and they will give you the right contact to apply.
So basically, if high achieving students with high marks can get up to $15,000 per year, and their tuition fee will be around what, maybe $10,000 to $12,000, so which is very affordable.
And another good thing about studying in smaller city, you don't have the big casinos. Has lots of place to spend money, and you focus on study. The best thing to spend is on some outdoor experience. We can talk about that later, some other time. So application fee is $133, non-refundable. To apply, we have pretty flexible intakes: September intake, January intake, or May intake. Popular programs you can see is architecture, kinesiology, nursing, to engineering. We also have sports administration program. It's a business program focused on sports, hockey, NHL, NBA, those cool things, how to do business in sports field. The offer letter usually we give out in 3-4 weeks. Make sure you have completed the required documents. First, we have EAP program. We also have university pathways with Sprott Shaw College, and which means you finish at Sprott Shaw and you can come to Laurentian directly to start your either transition or start your degree program right away. We also take transfer student from college level and university level. So we give very good transfer credits to college students and university students. In some best case scenario, you're not wasting any credit. You study in university for 2 years, you can get all your credits transferred. Of course, that depends on your grade. And also the program you're applying shouldn't be very different. If you're applying from economics to engineering, you probably won't get as many as commerce to commerce, business to business. So that's the concept. There's no additional fee to evaluate. Just make sure you give us the detailed transcripts from your previous university or college. We will evaluate it and give you a transfer credit report. So before you start your university, you can estimate how long it will take to complete a degree with Laurentian, and also save lots of money if you done those study back home, and you only need a 2 or 3 year to get a university degree in Canada.
So technically, Jin, overseas applicants with some university credits, let's say they studied for 2 years in their home country in a university, they can technically complete their degrees at Laurentian. They can transfer some or all credits,
Yes.
depends on that report, and then they can technically do a degree completion at Laurentian.
Yes, you on your degree, you get the same degree.
Okay. Do you is there an additional application for this to review the credits from another university, or separate application, or another application fee for this?
You make one application.
Okay.
Just make sure you include your transcript if you've done study. And at the application form, they will ask you your previous studies. Just make sure you fill that out and include your transcript. We will evaluate. There's no additional fee, no additional or separate application. And the fee is 133. It's including in that application fee.
Great.
So it's very good. At home you stay at home. You save lots of transfer credits. The more you transfer, the more time and money you save. It's as simple as that. And that's also won't change much of you. Elias, you can talk about that. The post-graduation work permit. So if you study for 2 years, you can get up to 3 years of work permit. So the transfer credit won't affect your work permit. Correct me if I'm wrong. Check the website.
Yeah. Since Laurentian University is a public institution and a degree conferring institution in Ontario, once students receive their degrees, either undergraduate or graduate degrees, they are eligible to apply for post-graduation work permit up to 3 years in length. So, yes.
Okay. So to apply, you need 70%, either from high school or from your college or from your university studies. We're not really looking at super high grade, but you cannot lower than 70%. You need 70% average to apply. So including high school or college or your university studies, whatever, we look at your most recent. Let's say if you're in university studying your second year back home, and we will look at your university transcript. We will consider less of your high school, and we don't really care about your high school. Another thing is if you studied in English for 3 years, including 3 years, you don't really need to take TOEFL or IELTS. And IB program, British pattern, we have all that. We also have very specific country by country requirements from our website. Under international, you'll find the education system in your country and how that translate to a Canadian system or Laurentian standard.
All right. I want to touch base on our pathway partnership. So maybe what we can do is we can invite Tammy on stage if she's still here, and then we can just discuss. We don't need to have the PowerPoint on.
Sure.
Okay. Laura has another question. Laura, we'll answer your question in a minute. So I just wanted to discuss how our pathway agreement works.
Absolutely.
So Tammy, why don't you tell us about that? So we have a student. They apply to our students apply to our school. They're admitted into our pathway program, which is EPE, English for Post-Secondary Education, and it's a 12-week program. So once they graduate, actually before they even graduate, once they're admitted into EPE, we are able to apply to Laurentian University for conditional admission. Am I correct? Or conditional acceptance? For the undergraduate programs, at least.
To be honest, I don't have the answer to that question right now, but I can certainly get that for you. So I can consult with my colleague, the manager of admissions.
Okay.
But for students who are in the EPE program, excuse me, if you have an overall average of at least 80% or higher and 65% or higher on the exit test, then you've met the English language requirements for Laurentian University for direct admission to both undergraduate and graduate programs. So you've met the language component. Now there's on the graduate application piece, there's a few other layers that are involved, but you've satisfied the English language requirements. Students, we also have a second condition. Excuse me, I'm just reading my notes here. So the successful level 112, 112? No. Okay, so that's a typo on our part, I suppose. The second condition is that we offer students who don't quite meet the 80%. So if your final mark is between 75 to 79%, what we offer is our university preparation program, which is our bridging program. So the bridging program within the Language Institute allows students to continue to refine and revise English language skills for academics and take 2 undergraduate courses for credit or graduate courses, either or.
So your English preparation, is that for 1 semester, like 4 months?
Yeah, so they're 13 weeks in duration. So students are in the university preparation program. It's approximately 16 hours of intensive language instruction, plus up to 2 3-credit courses at either the undergraduate, graduate level, depending on the program the student's studying in. And then we also have a tutoring or tutor assistance program. So students have the option, complimentary, to meet with tutors weekly to work on either to try to support the language skills. And then we also have a pretty comprehensive tutoring program at Laurentian University to support in the undergraduate or graduate courses.
Great. So if students successfully complete our program, in this case, 80% on roll and 65% on the exit test, they don't need to prove anything else?
Nope.
So your regular admission criteria is IELTS 6.5?
Yeah, IELTS 6.5 with no band lower than 6. TOEFL 88 IBT. Those are the big ones. Pearson Test of English 60. And then we've adopted Duolingo during temporarily right now during the COVID-19 time. So Duolingo 110 on the Duolingo English test.
So basically our graduates, our EP graduates, will be able to apply to Laurentian, and they'll get admission based on the English proficiency, of course. So they'll be satisfying Laurentian University's English proficiency requirement.
Absolutely.
And they will use our SSLC certificate in lieu of any other English proficiency exams or tests like IELTS or Duolingo.
Yeah. So it makes that seamless transition from Sprott Shaw Language College right to University.
Exactly.
And I'm happy to follow up about the conditional offer within an offer, which I think was your first question. So I'm happy to get back to you about that.
And it's also great to know that this is also the case for your master's programs as well. Obviously, they need to be, eligible to attend the master's programs. There are other stuff, other requirements, but at least they'll be satisfied because we don't have a lot of partnerships where universities accept our EP program for their graduate degrees or graduate programs like master's programs,
right?
Or they take our students into their bridging programs for their master's studies. But it's you are one of the few partners that accept our EP certificate for your graduate programs as well. So it's another
reason to come to Laurentian.
Exactly. And if students are at a lower level or they can't make up that 8%, it's not a problem. They can still enroll at Laurentian. They'll be taking additional English for maybe 4 months, 13 weeks, but still,
13 weeks.
They'll be able to take credit towards their degrees.
Absolutely. It gives them one foot in the door, so yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Great. And we have a question from Laura again. She wants to know if you have any medical programs or programs in the medical field that can take international students at Laurentian. Do you have any programs regarding medical?
We have medical related program. Different country may have different definition and classification of medical. So at Laurentian, the medical school itself, it's a graduate level school. So which means you need an undergraduate degree, you need a bachelor's degree. The interesting thing is, it doesn't matter what kind of degree you have. You can apply medical school with a music degree. Most of the people probably won't prepare themselves like that, because you still need to pass the medical school entry exam, which is really, really hard for students studying music. But it doesn't mean no. So another thing is lots of medical related program at undergraduate level. Let's say nursing program. We have the midwifery. We also have biomedical biology, health related programs, kinesiology, human kinetics. And also as well as the radiation therapy. That's all undergraduate degree program, open to international students, and which can give you lots of not only the knowledge and to prepare you for medical school, but also can give you prepare you for a job right after you get the degree, which means you have two options. If you can chase your medical school dream after you graduate, and you at the same time you can, if there's a suitable opportunity, you can start to work, because that's a proper university degree. And in my way, I see it is you graduate, you find a job, and you start to work, so you can support yourself, and you can also at the same time prepare your medical school entry exam. And if things going well, and you can when you're ready, you can apply to medical school.
Great. Thanks for answering that, Jin. I guess I've asked all my questions. I have just a few more before we wrap up here. And Laura, thanks for joining our webinar again. And she said thanks a lot for the answer, Jin. I'm sure you can see it as well. So you said you both studied at Laurentian University. How would you describe your own experience as a student at Laurentian, and what would you suggest for prospective students?
Oh, good question. Jen, do you want to start?
My own experience is at the beginning, it was hard for me, but I'm talking about 2001, almost 20 years ago, but to me, it seems like yesterday. The reason why I say it's hard because I cannot find people. I born in China and lived until I was 18 after high school. So at that time, my English was bad. That was the first EAP class offered by Laurentian University's first ESL class. At that time, it's not even called EAP. And it was hard for me because I cannot find someone who can speak the same language as me. But I've been forced to learn English. Otherwise, I cannot communicate. Even I see some other international student, I have to communicate in English. So in a way, the small community is more international. It sounds interesting, but here you find things more in common if you find some other international students. It's not like in big cities, you can easily find hundreds of people from the same culture, same language, same region, and same restaurant, food. And you have very comfortable bubble. But sometimes that bubble becomes a thing that stops you from improve. So another thing is here, I still remember I give a little gift that I brought from home to my roommate. My roommate is a local French-Canadian guy. His name is Joel. I still remember he took out one of his favorite hockey club. I don't play hockey. I can skate now. They're pretty good, but I don't play hockey. He prepared it. He took the old taping off. He retaped it really nice. He gave it to me as a gift. That's my true Canadian gift. I still have that on my wall. They don't even make that style anymore. It's a full wood one. CCM is really, really nice. Small community give you that family feeling. I found that the small community at the beginning is hard to know where to go, to do what, to meet people, but you build very solid friendship, lifelong friendship with people from everywhere, local Canadian people and other international people, and it's a really good community feeling. So that's why I really appreciate I chose Laurentian as my university.
Yes. Lots of memories.
Yes, I know Tammy from she was a very little girl.
Less gray hair. Thanks, Jen. My experience, I was a local student. I was the student that was in transition to campus and came home. And we didn't have computers really back then. So it was a lot of note taking, less distractions, but it was a good experience to study in my home university. I also had the opportunity to go to Toronto, to Seneca College, and study at a big college. But I'd like to speak to the student experience that I've observed in the last 14 years at Laurentian as a teacher, and from my experience is that I think it's a really great opportunity, kind of what, echoing what Jin has said, to get involved in the community, to be a member of the community of Sudbury. And I feel it's very welcoming. I used to live in Toronto, and I was also always surprised to hear that Toronto is such a friendly place. But Sudbury really speaks to that. People are interested, people are curious, and people are very warm and welcoming. And my advice to any new student is to get out and get involved and get out of your rooms and just really kind of break through the barriers. And we're here to help. And from my experience is that, your first point of contact, whether it's Jin in liaison, whether it's myself in the Language Institute, that becomes your home base. And students will always come back to us, always. So we really have that personal touch, which right. I think is wonderful.
Jin in the beginning mentioned about the cold over there, but we obviously have our Toronto campus, and it gets cold in Toronto too. Sometimes, but we still have lots of students choose our Toronto campus. So, and most of our students who are joining Laurentian University, they usually choose our Toronto campus because they want to be closer to where they study, and they usually go to our Toronto campus. But they can also study in Vancouver or Victoria and taste both worlds, east and west. So I don't think it's a big problem there. I'd like to thank both of you once again, but before I let you go, I have a final question. It's kind of like a quick survey. I haven't asked this question to anyone else. Have you had, I mean, we've been organizing these pathway webinars with our partners, and I'm not sure if you ever had any webinars with other ESL partners yet. But I'd like to ask you, how did you find our webinar today? And I'd like to ask if you were ever invited to any other webinars within Canada from other ESL partners.
I can speak personally. This
Sure.
is the first invitation and the first acceptance to a webinar such as this, and it has been a very impressive experience. I can't believe there's 276 people tuning in that we know of. So yes, I very much appreciate this opportunity to participate in something like this. I think it seems very successful. Happy to do it again for sure. But I'll let Jin kind of take the lead on other partners out there.
With language school, this is also my first time. I've done many Facebook live sessions, mostly with recruitment agencies, international schools. So far, my experience is very with you guys. Again, Teacher K, how to say that? I forgot. I used to know that in Turkish when I was in Istanbul. It was a little hard. Anyway, so I really appreciate to organize this. Is amazing. I do want to add just two things I forgot to mention, but it's very important. Our MBA is still open for September.
Okay.
If you're in Canada, take the opportunity because of the COVID-19 situation. We waived the GMAT. You don't need the GMAT. You can apply. It close in a few days. I said July 15th. Apply before that. Another thing is graduate for masters and PhDs. You also can get 9,000 Canadian dollar per year for masters and 13,000 per year for PhDs. Yeah, we also have course based. So if you're considering, there are many options for you. Okay. Yeah,
great. Thank you both for sharing your thoughts on our webinars. I mean, before, of course, COVID-19. We would, our marketers would go out there, we travel almost all the countries, different regions. We attend international education fairs and we promote our schools, we promote our programs, but as well as we also promote our pathway partners. You're on our brochures, on our flyers, on our website, everywhere. So we, and we invite our partners. We used to invite our partners on campuses, in our campuses to talk to our students, to do this live with our students. But of course, we had to adopt to the new normal. So, and we quickly came up with this project, with this idea to both, promote our partners to our current and prospective students, but also be a bridge between our partners and our students out there. It can be challenging sometimes for international students because they don't know where to start from or they don't know what to expect.
Absolutely.
And here we host many different partners from different parts of Canada, different cities, different regions, so they get to know Canada, Canada's cities, different universities, colleges, and the system, and how they can easily, transition from a language school from us, from SSLC, to our pathway partners. So, and also they get to know more about our partners programs and their program offerings and their scholarship opportunities. So just today, you mentioned your scholarship opportunity for international students. So it's great. So we try to, fill in that gap in between our partners and our students, and try to give them all the good information from the source directly. In this case, obviously, it's you. And thank you, everyone, for joining in and tuning into our webinars every week. And thank you, Jem, for sharing our website here. You can just go to our website. We speak almost all the languages here. You know, we have student advisors, marketers that speak your language. Jem, are we going to show our website, or do we have to? Let's not do that today, because otherwise I have to take one of you down. Let's not do that today.
Okay, June.
Yes, but we
Sure.
have more webinars coming up. We'll be live again on Thursday at 2 p.m. at Lakehead University, and next week we have UPEI, University of Prince Edward Island, joining us next Tuesday, and we have more webinars coming up with our partners in weeks to come. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your presence here tonight, and I hope we'll see you sometime soon, perhaps maybe in our Toronto campus, when everything goes back to the normal. All right.
Whatever that normal is, for
Yeah,
sure. Well, thank you very much,
we'll find
everyone.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Okay.
The sun hits the planet on a different kind of angle down here. It's beautiful, it's lovely, and it's sophisticated. Canada offers stunning landscapes, beautiful natural wonders, and the Sprott Language College. Our school was founded to amplify and expand the opportunities you have in life. At Sprott Language College, we want to put you on the path to greatness. We take great pride in serving as your educator, mentor, and advisor. At our core, we are educators. Nothing makes us happier than to see our students progress and develop personally. As a country, Canada is home to a great mixture of diverse nationalities, cultures, and personalities. SSLC mirrors that spirit of multiculturalism on our campuses. Being surrounded by so many interesting people will inspire you to do great things. Vancouver is home to many attractions that bring people from all over the world. Join the incredible melting pot of ideas, philosophies, perspectives, and ideologies that we call British Columbia. Many people are attracted to the cosmopolitan lifestyle that Victoria City offers. If you love living in a highly diverse, multicultural, modern city, living in Victoria will be perfect for you. As Canada's largest city, Toronto has unique opportunities you will not find anywhere else. Meeting interesting and influential people will increase your chances of finding learning opportunities and discovering your true life's passion. Join us at Sprott Language College to enhance the quality and success of your life. Now is your time. Watch what happens now.